Man, I don't know what's up with these entitled YouTubers these days. Some of them are just insane people. Like, literally just insane people. I'm sure you guys already know or you've already heard. Sniper Wolf, who's a popular content creator on YouTube and, well, Twitch, but she does VODs and shit on YouTube where she does most of her shit is reaction. And obviously, I think I've talked about it on here before about how she's faked content in the past and she has rehearsed reactions that she's obviously already watched the videos and there's been an ongoing dispute between her and Shane Dawson, and Shane Dawson's one of the OGs of YouTube. I'm sure many of you guys know who that is, if you're at all in the YouTube ecosystem. But yeah, this Sniper Wolf, she literally she did an insane thing. She literally showed up to Shane Dawson's house because she was sick of him like making fun of her, I guess, because he just there's been this whole rivalry about how she just steals content and does this cookie cutter content that makes so much money because she's hot, right? That's the whole fucking thing. And so she just steals content and re-uploads it and then reacts to it pathetically, which I agree that is the most cancerous content out there. And I think I did talk about the situation on here before, but I don't know, I guess she fucking snapped finally and she ended up showing up to his house and like was tweeting at him saying I'm outside your house and like I mean basically doxed the poor guy and her defense recently was like, well, you can Google his address. And I was like, yeah, but that's not the fucking point. Like, yeah, you can Google celebrities' addresses. Yes, I get it. That's true. Some people's addresses are public, even though they really shouldn't be. But that doesn't mean you go fucking to their house and you dox them and have your little fan army. Like, that's dangerous. Like, people can get fucking killed. That's like that Boogie guy that Boogie was that big fat fucking guy that he's just a lol cow basically. He just does stupid shit on the internet and then he was always trying to being he was trying to be like a wholesome guy originally, but then he kind of just fell off and just started being cringe and then basically everything that every little thing every controversy he got into he basically cocked out of it and like, oh no, I'm the good guy, I'm the victim, and I know. And now he's just literally a lol cow because everybody knows he's full of shit. And but it's the same thing. Like a guy showed up to his house, but I'm pretty sure Boogie in that case though doxed himself. Like he put his address out there, telling the people like, "Come and fight me, bitch!" And like he was surprised when the people actually showed up. It's like that's kind of stupid. But Boogie did have a shotgun, and I think he discharged it in the air. I might have talked about that on here too. I don't remember, but yeah, it's like that's crazy shit that can happen. Like don't tell people where you live, kids, and don't go fucking showing up to other people's houses unannounced. God, like how do people even watch that Sniper Wolf chick? It's crazy. And I know like it's weird, like a lot of her content is like it's not geared towards children, I guess, but I know a lot of girls like it. A lot of little girls like it, supposedly. Like my daughter's too young. She doesn't watch Sniper Wolf, but I just hear that it's kind of the demographic is young girls. Like I think Joe Rogan he mentioned it on his podcast one time that his daughters love watching Sniper Wolf and yeah, I don't know. That's it's not that relevant, but I know like a lot of little girls watch it. So either way, Sniper Wolf, if you're listening, I know you're not, but stop showing up to people's houses, you fucking psycho. Jesus Christ. Welcome everybody back to Novice Just Bored, episode number 94. Happy Halloween for everybody who is celebrating that crazy pagan holiday. It's November the 2nd that I'm recording this on, but obviously there was not any episode between then, so I'm saying it now. It's late, but you know what? It's never too late to wish somebody happy Halloween. So, and let me just say, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the hell's going on in the world. Maybe this is just where I live, Maybe it's where you live. I don't know. You guys are gonna have to get back to me on this one, but I feel like Halloween is just dying out. And even Christmas too, but Halloween more so. Like when I was a kid, I remember everybody celebrated Halloween and every house had decorations. Like almost always. You know, you'd have the Jehovah's, like the people that fucking, I call them the fun suckers back then. No offense, guys. I'm sure you guys are all lovely people, but, not letting your kids celebrate their birthdays or any holidays, it's fucking cruel, man. I understand you guys don't believe in it or whatever your religious beliefs are, but like that really sucks as a kid. Sorry, I'm gonna go on a tangent here, but fucking having like birthday announcements and you'd have like, I don't know, maybe your teacher would get you like a piece of cake or something, or you bring cake or ice cream or I don't know, chocolate bar, something, just like it's my birthday, I feel special. And then you get those fucking Jehovah kids that were in your class, and it's just like, hey, buddy, I know it's your birthday, but happy school day, I guess. Like, what the fuck do you say? Like, they just literally didn't celebrate it, and I felt so fucking bad for them because it's like, they're kids, and they see the other kids get their birthday shit, and they want it so bad, they do, but no, it's part of the fucking fun suck Jehovah's. Sorry, guys. I'd say you just add an N and just become a Genova. Yeah, become a Final Fantasy VII villain. I don't know. That joke was terrible. But either way, I always felt bad. I have nothing against any religions. Fucking do you, son. I don't care. But if you're a kid in the 90s and your parents were Jehovah, I'm sorry. I'm sure you're talking to a therapist now about it. But I digress. Enough from the fun suck. Back to the holidays. How was your guys' Halloween? Mine was pretty good. It was. Oh, actually, before I talk about that, sorry. This is what happens. I start going on tangents and I forget what the hell I was talking about originally. Before I talk about how Halloween was, I was supposed to be talking about my whole story about how Halloween is declining, and every holiday in general, like Christmas is as well, but not as much. Christmas is still, because people won't stop doing the commercialism, the gifts and stuff. That's just not going to happen. It's just too ingrained in everybody. Not even if you don't, even if you're not Christian or whatever, whoever, if I'm not politically correct, whoever came up with Christmas originally, I'm pretty sure it's a Christian holiday, but it was probably a pagan holiday, I'm sure at some point. But either way, it's it's the whole Christmas thing, Christianity, I don't know, whatever fucking faith you are, somebody's buying you a gift around the holidays. That's just what happens. But like with Halloween, it's just like I said before, every time I remember, every house would be decorated. Again, there'd be the odd one that didn't, but it was more uncommon, I guess. It was more uncommon to see somebody that wasn't decorated than decorated. And I'm just trying to figure out what happened. Like, what's going on? Like, in the last few years, especially, and it's been happening since I've been an adult. Just nobody fucking decorates for Halloween. Like nobody. It's uncommon for people to decorate, and I don't know if it's just like part of me. Honestly, my theory on it anyway is that it's just part of the internet culture. Because since the internet, people aren't bored. You're never bored unless you're on this podcast. You might be not rich, just bored. Hey, I guess slipped it in there. Sorry, had to. But it's with the internet culture. I think people have just. You're never bored. You really aren't. You always have something to do. There's no such thing as like. When's the last time you took a shit? No, seriously. When's the last time you took a shit and just sat there and shit? No? I'll bet you have not done that in a coon's age. And if you did do it, you were like, oh my God, I want to jump. I want to go fucking hang myself right now. I forgot my phone. There's nothing worse. Everybody knows that in this first world country. There's nothing worse than going to the bathroom without your phone. But it's just like, that. But back when we were kids, you just fucking took a shit. But now it's like we can't be bored. You can't ever just be doing nothing. It's just, it doesn't feel right. You gotta always be moving forward and doing something. So when you have, technology, people are never bored. People are always just processing. They're always moving around. They're always doing something, right? So, whereas in the old generation, when there was no internet, you would get bored once in a while, watch TV or whatever, hang out, play video game stuff. But like your parents, they were used to like the old shit, just enjoying nature, reading a book, stuff like that. So when it came to celebrating Halloween, it was different. It was something different. So you got to, get out there and make the house all spooky, and it was kind of an event, right? Much like church. That's why church was so popular back in the day. Again, my other theory, because like people are like, oh, people aren't going to church anymore. It's like, well, yeah, because you don't fucking need to. Back in the day, that was your congregation. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have, like, especially before phones in general, like telephones. That was where you saw everybody. Was at church. It's like, oh, hey, Hilda, how you doing? Oh, Bruce died last week. Oh, so sorry. We'll see you at service anyway. God bless. But like nowadays, like we know what everybody's up to all the time. I don't have to check in on anybody. Well, you should check on your friends if they're depressed. This is not an ad for BetterHelp. I want to reiterate that. It's not an ad. But yeah, you should check on your friends. But my point is, like, you're always getting information on people. You're always getting information on where they are. You can text them in an instant. If you want to talk to somebody, you phone them. Oh, I don't have their phone number. It doesn't matter. You can literally look their name up. Oh, I haven't talked to Linda in a while. And it's just like, oh, let's see if she has Facebook. Yeah, you look it up. Oh, she has Facebook. Yeah, you can call her over Messenger. There you go. You're talking to Linda. You're done. Like, everything's so accessible. So people don't need to go to these gatherings anymore. Because while church and stuff like that is it's a religious practice for sure. I think more than that, it's a social practice. People like being social. We're social animals. So that's why so many people are attending church and doing all these events. And I think the decline of Halloween is the same kind of thing. I think people are just, they wanna enjoy, something different and something social, because Halloween is social. But nowadays people are just, yeah, like nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares because it's not really special. Because nothing, the dopamine of getting all that candy on Halloween as a kid was fucking hype. So like we wanted to go trick-or-treating. Now it's like kids can't, they go for a couple hours, like, I'm bored. Really? You're fucking bored of candy? What the shit? Like, it doesn't make sense. But I guess, they got Fortnite and everything else going on. They got so much entertainment that's accessible and a lot more stimulating that they just don't care as much. So I think part of that has had an effect on adults who own the houses not wanting to decorate. And there's also the whole, there's the whole argument of just the generation right now. Like the millennials are sorry, I was almost gonna say the millennials are the homeowners, but that just doesn't sound right coming out of my mouth. Millennials aren't homeowners. No, we're fucking never gonna be that. But millennials are the one occupying that generation that decorates for Halloween, we'll say. So, it's, there's that argument that millennials are lazy and they just don't want to do it. But I honestly just think it's deeper than that. I think people just don't give a fuck as much these days because it's not as big of a deal to be social like that as it was in 1810 when you were dying of basically anything that happened to you. So I don't know, but either way, I still love the fact that some people participate. I still love the fact that there are people out there giving her, and I feel like it's gonna make a comeback. Because I feel like the next generation is going to kind of realize this backpedaling of society and be like, you know what? That is fun. It is fun to, everybody for a month kind of makes everything spooky. And then, same with Christmas. Everybody makes everything kind of festive and cheery. And, just as much as you might be a recluse, or as much as you might say you don't like the holidays, everybody kind of gets that warm, fuzzy feeling, you know, especially in Christmas, where they see, the lights, and they see all the kids running around happy, and it does warm me up a little bit, all that stuff. And same with, Halloween. It gives you that whole, like, takes you back to when you were a kid, and just the spookiness, and then all the candy, of course. But it's just, I don't think we should lose that. I think it's fun, and I definitely enjoyed I took my daughter out trick or treating. She's 2, so we couldn't go out that long because it was pretty damn cold up here. I think it was like -6, but it was actually one of the nicer days. I think it was closer to 0, but it was windy as shit. So the wind chill was like -8. It's probably 0, but -8 with the wind chill. But yeah, it was fun, and she had a good time, like, just strolling around the houses. And she was dressed up as, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this one, but it's Kissy Missy. That's from Poppy's Playtime, that video game. It's like a horror game. I never played it, but it's a horror game that's um it's more geared towards teens and children type deal. But like, children are obsessed with that stuff right now. Like, my daughter doesn't watch it as much, I don't think, but my son, like, he watches fucking Poppy's Playtime, Five Nights at Freddy's. That's his jam. That's all of his shit. I'm like, you're a psycho. But I like it. But it's yeah, they love all that weird, like, horror, but not horror. It's horror stuff, but it's like just childish jump scare stuff, right? So it's not like a gore fest like Friday the 13th or something. It's just, so it is, like, it's not the most terrible thing, I don't think, for kids anyway. But whatever. But he was dressed up as Huggy Wuggy, which is the monster from Poppy's Playtime, the blue guy. And then she was dressed up as Kissy Missy, which is basically the gender swap of Huggy Wuggy. It's just a pink one. So, but yeah, she was really sweet. She looks so cute in her outfit. And I was getting, like, overcome uh with nostalgia, because that was my first year actually taking her out. The year before that, she was with her mom, and we were kind of, let's just say that the wounds were fresh, we'll say, from the separation. So it was, we weren't talking as much at that time. So she took her out, and I just didn't get to take her out. She's 1. I mean, she basically rode around in a cart the whole time. But so this was my first official year, like, where she could actually walk on her own, and I got to take her out for Halloween. So that's definitely special for me. And yeah, her brother went with her mom this year, and that's fine. I got to see him at the end and give him some candy, so that was cool. Got a picture of them together with their matching Huggy Wuggy costumes. So that was really cool. But yeah, it's crazy, and it just brings me back. I'm like, she's like, "Oh my god, look at that. Look at that. Look at that skeleton, Dad. Look how big that skeleton is, Dad." And I'm like, just the childlike wonder. And every 5 seconds she's just like, "Is that fake? I- Is that real? Or is that fake? Dad, is that real or fake?" I'm like, "Baby, it's all fake. It's Halloween decorations. They're not real." And she's like, "Okay." And she goes near them. It's like, okay. I remember she went to the one house, and they had, like, a leather face animatronic, and it was just sitting there. And then she, like, walked by it, and it goes, "Woo!" And just started revving up the chainsaw, and she just shit her pants. I'm like, "Oh fuck!" And, like, we trick or treated at the house, and then, like, she was stuck on the stairs. She didn't want to walk by it again. The guy's like, "I can unplug it if you want, if it's too scary for her." I'm like, I looked him in the face. I'm like, "I didn't raise no fucking pussy. You leave the fucking electricity on right now." Okay, I didn't really say that. I said, "No, it's fine. It's fine." I'm like, "She knows it's fake. I told her it's fake." I'm like, "It is pretty creepy, though." The best is there's, like, an animatronic that's always at Spirit Halloween that, like, jump scares. It's a spider, and it just, like, when you get near it, it jumps towards you. Holy fuck, does that thing get every kid that walks by it? It's, I mean, you can call me sadistic if you want, but it's hilarious when people get scared, it's hilarious. When kids get scared, it's really fucking hilarious because they're just like dramatic and they jump and run like yow. But yeah, it's pretty funny. So, but that's all part of the spirit. You know, the spirit of Halloween is just it's about getting a little scared and spooked and seeing some creepy shit, and it's that's fun. And you survive the horror and you get rewarded with candies. It's cool. And there's one wholesome guy. He put the treats in my daughter's bag, and he hands me this bag of Doritos, and he's like, he like looks at me. I'm like, oh, what's this? And he's like, even dads get hungry. And he like gives me a little wink. And this guy was probably like 85 years old. Like he's old. And even dad's gotta eat. And I'm like, fuck, you're wholesome as fuck. Like, I didn't say that to his face, but I'm like, Jesus, like that's heartwarming. Like, it's cool, and I think that's part of what makes Halloween special too. Is actually for old people too, because they get to see the kids and stuff, and it reminds them of their grandkids, and just reminds them of maybe their childhood, because they're at the end of life. They're kind of reminiscing a little bit on the beginning of life, I'd imagine, but they see all the kids in their cute costumes, and you know, it's funny because at that point, like, I taught Briar how to roar, and I'm like, just roar, like roar, people. So she's just like, every person she comes up on, she's like, rah, rah, like with her hands up. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, you're funny. It'll be like a roar, and it'll be like a ah! Like a scream. I'm like, Jesus, like, that's not the best roar, but I don't know. Scared some people, I imagine. I just kept telling her, I'm like, good attempt, good attempt. But either way, it was a good, safe Halloween. We didn't go for a very long time. We just kind of chilled, took it slow because, like I said, it was pretty damn cold and it was extra windy. So that's a great part of being in Canada. So yeah, hope your guys' Halloween was great too, and hope you got lots of candy. But remember, you got to do about 16 hours of cardio to wake up for all that shit. So get to work, you goody man. Yeah, fuck. Like, the other thing that happened too, we had Halloween, and then also Sober October ended. So we as we came to the end of October, I did the whole month, no drugs or alcohol, and I also did no caffeine, and like, I'm actually feeling really good. I'm feeling good for like a guy that's like, literally, I basically injected coffee every day. Like, that was a core part of my day, was having coffee in the morning. I really enjoy a cup of coffee in the morning. It's just part of my schedule. And sometimes I feel like more tired, but I think it's just normal, if you know what I mean. I think it's just, you're supposed to feel tired at the end of the day. You just, it's like, when you're done, it's like 10 o'clock at night, you're tired and you want to go to bed. That's kind of what your body's telling you. But, when I was used to drinking so much caffeine and I'd drink it all day, like basically up till 5 o'clock almost, I would, not as much lately, but sometimes in the past, I'd be like, oh, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Why can't I go to sleep? It's like, well, you fucking drink a Monster Energy drink at fucking 8 p.m., son. Like, or you stop drinking coffee at 6 p.m. Like, obviously, you're going to be a little bit, your body, that caffeine it's meant to keep you awake. So, you start to learn the importance of decaf. And that was another thing too, is if I'd be out with friends or like doing something like like going out for coffee or what have you, you could still get included. And I could still enjoy coffee, just have a decaf. It's fine. It's not the worst. Like I said, it's November 2nd now, and I still haven't had caffeine. I still, I just, if I need a coffee in the morning, I just have a decaf, and maybe that gives me a little bit of placebo energy. I don't know, but It's I get as much enjoyment out of it as anything else, but I don't know how much. I haven't weighed myself. My my scale actually ran out of batteries, so I gotta get batteries for it. But I don't know if I lost any weight this month. I feel better in a way. I'm having some muscle issues in my body, but that's a different thing. I think that's a stretching problem. I need to get better at stretching and getting my muscles warmed up before I do things, because it's amazing. Once you get like older, your body just betrays you. It really does. And if you don't like stretch to walk out the door, you're just you're fucked for your life. So I think it's all that stuff that you take for granted when you're a kid, your flexibility and your just endless energy. And then when you're like, 33, it's like you tweak your back the wrong way. It's like, oh God, I'm out for the season, coach. Take me out. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that's very strange. And but I feel like I have lost a little bit of weight. I feel a little bit better anyway. Either way, the fact that it's maybe I might keep up with the caffeine thing. I might not. We'll see. I kind of want to do the experiment because there was a guy that was on Rogan and he said like he cut out caffeine for 3 months and then he had a coffee and it was like a psychedelic experience. I kind of want to do that. I kind of want to try that and see if that works, because I feel like it would be crazy, especially when you're used to such radical levels of caffeine. And I think I said it on here before, but it took me like 3 days originally. I like the first 3 days were rough, and I had headaches and shit, which I'm assuming were withdrawal symptoms from the caffeine. And but then after that, I was in the free and clear, and I felt a lot better. So, and since then, it's been good. I haven't had like a craving for it or at all, really. I'll have the odd decaf if I feel like I need a warm drink or something. It's cool. It's good. Either way, I don't know. So sorry guys, we gotta talk about politics a little bit too. Gotta get away from the Halloween stuff. I just wanted to bring up this one funny thing that happened. There's all this talk about how they're giving tax breaks for energy, right? And it's only but the tax breaks are only for people who use oil to heat their house. And I did not know this. Actually, here, let me. Oh, my mouse disconnected. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. Hold on. Let me look it up. Uh, Oil heating. Yeah, oil to heat pump. Yeah, they're releasing this oil to heat pump affordability plan, and it's yeah. In terms of number, this comes from Radio Canada. Radio Canada. In terms of numbers, only 3% of Canadian households use heating oil, primarily in Atlantic Canada, which is Eastern Canada. So the impact on emissions isn't significant. So they're saying because it's only a low percent and the impact on emissions isn't huge, they're giving tax breaks for people that still use oil, which whatever, it's fine. But it's like they're purposely, it's like he's purposely trolling the West. Like this guy just fucking won't stop. He just won't stop. He he's trying to troll the West so hard that it's like, oh, well, we'll give this tax break to this fucking niche power supply in the East. Of course it's Eastern Canada, where my voters are. And then his one fucking the one lady in Congress, I can't remember what it was. Well, it's not Congress, it's fucking House of Commons, whatever. But she was like, what the fuck did she say? She's like, oh, well, if you wanted more exemptions, you should have hired more liberals in the prairies or something like that. She said, and it was like, oh, fuck off. Like, basically saying like, oh, you want tax breaks and affordable heating? You gotta vote liberal. Like, it just doesn't. It's so fucking stupid. All I'm saying is, the one thing I just want to say on this, because again, I haven't researched this a whole bunch, so I don't want to, put my foot in my mouth too much. But I just kind of want to put my thought out there. Like, it's not helping Canadians at all. This carbon tax, it's not. And I know people who are hardcore liberals and stuff, and they basically like everything Justin Trudeau does. He shits gold. I get it, but like nothing this guy has done is benefiting anybody, fucking at all. Besides like the niche little populations, like for immigrants and stuff like that he's helped out. And then he's helped out, single mothers and stuff like that. That's great. Some of that's good. The affordable childcare, not a bad idea. I like it. But like just punishing people for using oil and gas, like, oh, we need to be worried about our emissions. Like, bitch, China fucks us up every year in emissions. They emit more in a fucking year than we will in our lifetimes. Like if I live to be like 100 optimistically, 680 in my cyborg suit thing, when I get my brain implanted. But, I will not, like, China will destroy the world in that time by the time I've polluted anywhere near to they have in a year. Like, they are one of the, like, dirtiest fucking countries in the world. Because they just don't give a fuck. They want to be number one. They don't care how. They just want to be number one. They want a industrial revolution. Why do you think everything comes from China? Because they're fucking industrious. Because they don't have any laws. Foxconn and all that shit. They don't have any standards. People are basically slaves there. Like, I don't know. It just makes no fucking sense. But I just hate that. I hate the fact that everything is so ridiculously fucking expensive right now. And I know I'm not the only one that thinks this. I can't be. There's got to be people listening to this, and got to be people in Canada in general that, like, are just wondering what the fuck is going on. Like, the idea that are like nothing's affordable. Houses aren't fucking affordable. They never have been since I've been an adult, even. But in like the 2016 era when Trudeau took over, it became really fucking terrible. Like right now, the way my wages and stuff, and with my job, I could probably afford a house back in 2016. Like I would have been ready to take that leap to get a house, a big mortgage. Like again, I talked about a lot on there. I've been a homeowner since I was 20, but I own a shitty trailer, and I even got trolled on that because my trailer, I think I bought it at a time for like 86, almost $90,000, and then oil crashed literally the next day. Okay, it was the next year, but still, it crashed next year, and then the value of that property dropped by half. So I could have saved half of my mortgage on this by just waiting a year. But obviously, I needed a place to live, so. But yeah, like housing was a little bit too expensive because I was just working dead end jobs, right? So I was like, whatever, I don't want to pay rent, so this trailer is affordable anyway. So I did it, and that was that. And now I still have that shitty trailer. I call it my shitty trailer just because it's I don't know, just feels right. It feels very, I don't know, because trailers are shitty. They just are. It's fine. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty, not too, it doesn't look too bad. It's only a 2001. It's a decent place, but compared to a house, trailers are shitty, man. You got to deal with heat tape, bunch of all their bullshit. Don't even get me started on it. But either way, 2016 job I have now, wage, yeah, I would have definitely jumped into a house. But like with the prices now, not a fucking chance. Not a chance in hell. It's way too goddamn expensive. So, and just everything, groceries, everything. Like with the inflation in Canada, it's not a joke that $100 is the new $20. Like like when you were like 10 years ago, even 2010, if you had $20, you're like, I have quite a bit of money. I can have a nice fancy meal for $20. You know, I mean, like not super fancy, but Boston pizza, something like that, eh? Something in Canada. We're good to go. Now it's like I got $20. What do you guys want off the dollar menu? Like that's just how it is. Like $20 is like the new fucking $100. That's how bad the inflation is right now in Canada. It's fucking ridiculous. And I really want things to go back to normal. And from my experience, things never go back to normal. And I've talked about this 100 times on here, but I'll say it again. Like I've never seen prices go back down. Like sometimes, very slightly. But like we're never gonna see like, $2 for milk anymore. We're never gonna see, like $1 gas prices, $1 a liter. That it's long gone. We're long gone, guys. That ship has sailed. So I don't know. I just my heart goes out for all those people fucking suffering and like there's a lot of people a lot worse off than me. But when it comes to all this shit, like I saw a video of this transgender person in a restaurant. They're filming their meal. They're filming this. I don't know. It's just their meal. They're doing a vlog, I assume. It's cut up, so I don't know the full context. Just pre-warning. But the waiter misgenders him, and then it's like oh it's ma'am. I use she her pronouns. It's like, and the guy's like, oh, my apologies, and then it's like, and then it just keeps going on about how, it's like a stab in the heart. It's like a stab in the heart. Like, how fucking soft are you? How soft are you that like somebody misgendering you is like stabbing your heart? And it's like, how about you some common sense and like fucking relax. Like if you're gonna be that fucking idiotic, what? Like I'm sorry, but I wouldn't have known what to call the fucker either. Like, do you prefer that people call you fucking it? Like, I don't know, it's stupid. But I'm dead serious, and I literally I stand by this when I say it. Like, you will never see somebody who's a they them, like something like that. Somebody with weird pronouns. You will never see them fit and in shape. You just won't. You'll never see somebody who's got it all together. They got their mental health in check. They got their fucking body in check. You'll never see. You never see them with pronouns. Because it is like a mind virus. It really is. It's just like it's people living shitty lives, doing shitty things to their bodies, eating shitty, living shitty, and then they have a bad mental health because of it. And then they think fucking affiliating with some stupid group is gonna solve all their problems. And it's gonna make them feel mentally okay. No, it's not. What's gonna make you feel good is getting the fucking shape, getting your shit together. Think about your future. Think about the children you may or may not have. Think about investing. Go run a fucking treadmill for an hour. Stop worrying about your goddamn gender identity. It doesn't make sense to me. Like I said, you'll never find somebody. And I challenge you guys, if you know somebody, tell me somebody who has like weird they them pronouns, who's just fucking the epitome of fitness and totally good mental health, just a normal person. You won't. They're always fucking weirdos. They are. And again, it's especially the weirdos that like enforce it on people and force people to fucking do it. And then it's like they get mad when they get misgendered. It's like, well, you fucking look like a girl. I apologize. Just doesn't make sense, man. It's like, and the reason I got on this tangent is because Canada has been so worried about that stuff. They've been worried about gender politics and gender identity instead of working on affordable housing. Like, wouldn't you much rather than affirming madness, which it is fucking madness in a lot of cases. There are a few genuine people for sure. I've never once said that transgender people are fake. It's not a fake thing. There certainly are people that have that gender dysphoria. But I'm here to tell you, in my personal humble opinion, 99.9% of them are just full of shit. They're just fucking bullshitters trying to fit into a weird societal clique that doesn't give a fuck about them and is just garbage for their health and their mental health. So, whatever. Do what you guys want. Affiliate with whatever you want, but I'm just saying, like, for the most part, it's garbage. And especially as a government should not be affirming this kind of stuff. They should be working on real stuff. Work on passing some fucking laws to get the price of shit down. They're worried about this greenness. They're so worried about turning everything green. How about we make things fucking affordable? Like even Elon Musk there. Yeah, I call him Elon Musk because it's funny. But well, it's not that funny. But but I you know, he's got the Tesla, right? Renewable energy, which is cool. And I like Elon. I think he's kind of a cool guy. He seems all right. And it's like, oh, it's an electric car. That's cool. But guess what? It's not affordable. It's not affordable for a regular person. It isn't. And if you say it is, you're fucking wrong. Okay? Like $40,000 for a standard sedan. That's not fucking affordable for your average person. For a sedan, like that's just a basic old sedan. Again, I understand it's got all the Tesla technology, it's got all the cool shit. I get that. I get it. But for your average person that's just coming into the market, 20 years old, they need a fucking shit wagon to get to work. They're not going to be spending 50 grand almost on a fucking Tesla. They're going to be buying the Chevy Cruze that's slightly used for 10 grand that has the same amount of cargo. So, like, if everybody wants this green shit, they want all this renewable stuff, you got to make it affordable. And we're worried about the fucking pollution. Meanwhile, everybody's fucking dying and starving to death. Like, nothing's affordable right now. I literally can't remember the last time I saved money. I can't remember the last time I saved money. Because everything's so fucking expensive. And there's always something. And I'm getting a little pissed off right now because I don't think it's just me. I think this is everybody. Everybody out there. I mean, leave a comment in the description below. Or in the comment section for fuck's sake.
Charge complete.
I'm getting so angry I can't even speak. Oh, charge complete. Thank you very much, headset. I really need to know that. But like it literally makes me mad. It makes me fucking angry that a person working a full-time job that's an above average job too, not just a fucking, I'm not just a Walmart stalker or something. Not that there's anything wrong with that, kiddos. You fucking do what you want. It's fine. But, statistically, that's a lower paying job. But, even those guys, I think they should be able to afford a fucking mortgage payment and groceries. Do I think, and I sound like a fucking broken record at this point, but like, I'm not saying these people need Ferraris or, the Tesla ludicrous edition, whatever the hell he's made. A Walmart worker shouldn't be able to afford a Porsche necessarily. Okay. But they should be able to afford basic fucking shelter and food. Especially somebody like me that's in a even better position than that. Like, the idea that people making like $25 an hour are barely scraping by in Canada is fucking egregious. And I'm very sorry, guys, but we can't just blame COVID all the time. COVID did fuck up the economy. It really did. But guess what? Who's the leadership then? It's fucking liberal Trudeau. And who's still there? You guys got to get down to brass taxes. That's the thing. You got to get down to brass taxes. You got to realize that guy's a leader, hasn't had to struggle a day in his life. His dad was a fucking career politician. He came from money. He was an actor. He's a drama teacher. Like, he's had a very, they always talk about white privilege. They always talk about privilege for everybody, right? It's always a fucking problem. Privilege. Well, guess what? The guy that you're voting for that talks about privilege is the most privileged little cocksucker in the world. So he doesn't get it. He doesn't get what it's like to live in the fucking trenches and fucking live paycheck to paycheck like all of us are doing right now. He doesn't get it. And yet, there's some fucking people, sorry, I'm swearing a lot, but there are some people that still support him because he supports trans rights. Labataqua, the LGBTQ, S.I. Lee. It's a fucking serial number now, for Christ's sake. Like, thank God. Thank fucking God he supports that. I don't want a place to live. I don't want to be able to put food on a table, but thank fucking God we got those rights. Whew. Whew. I could be called a they, them in my fucking camping tent that I have to live in the yard. Because I can't afford anything, and I'll never be able to afford anything. Like, that's the reality. That's going to be the reality of future generations. Unless you have generational wealth right now, good luck. You're fucked. And that's the unfortunate fucking truth. Unless something happens in this country. Unless we get back on track. And, I mean, like Pierre Polyev says, common sense. Gotta get the common sense out there. I agree with them. We need some fucking common sense. Stop worrying about fucking gender. Stop worrying about bullshit. And start worrying about the future. Children. Not fucking coddling them. Not telling them they're gay. Not putting bullshit in their heads like that. We need to fucking build a strong like every great nation in the past has been destroyed, dismantled. No king rules forever, as they say. And I feel like Western civilization, it's almost our turn. We're gonna crumble if we don't get our shit together soon. And I know that sounds doom and gloom and that sounds conspiratorial, but I'm not joking. If we don't band together and start worrying about shit that actually matters, we're in trouble. We're all in trouble. And again, my heart goes out to the people who are suffering mentally and, they're having gender problems and, that does suck. If you genuinely are suffering from depression because of oppression or because somebody bullied you for being gay or bullied you for being trans or if you're legitimately trans, that is, my heart goes out to you. But the problem is there are pathways for that. There are pathways for people to get their mental health in order. They just don't want to do them. They don't. And that's the sad truth. We're a fucking accepting society now. But it's up to you to pull the trigger. You got to go to your fucking therapist or wherever you need to go to get your mental in check. That's on you. It's not up to the government. It's not up to the rest of the world. That's on you. You need to go, take the steps, get therapy, get better. Stop crying in your fucking pillow at night, wishing the world would change for you. The world doesn't need to change for you. You need to change for yourself. Better yourself. That's what I did. I went through a lot of years of being fucking depressed. And I was depressed. I didn't even know why. It was, girl stuff, regular shit. Girl, I thought a girl liked me, and then, oh, she crushed me. She didn't like me. Oh, no, it's terrible. And, you go and fucking cry about it. You'd sit there like a little bitch. And you'd be like, oh, this isn't fair. The world's not fair. But then one day you just wake up and you're like, you're sick of crying. Why are you doing that? And then you think about it and you're like, you're crying over somebody who didn't give two fucks about you. Or you're crying about something that didn't matter. You didn't get that promotion. You didn't get that anything. It doesn't matter. Crying about those things will not get you anything. It will never work. It's pathetic in a lot of ways. It's okay to cry for like a minute. But then you hold your head up high, you remember who the fuck you are, and you move on with your life. That's what you do. You can't dwell on shit. You can't sit there and say the world's not fair. Because you're right, it isn't fair. But sitting there crying, and even people, even your friends, people close to you, they're going to say it's okay. It is, it's okay to cry, which, again, once in a while, it's okay. Let your emotions out, it's fine. But like, even your friends, after a while, they're going to abandon you. If all you do is sit there and cry and fucking mope about your life and do nothing to fix it. I just feel like a lot of people do that. I don't know what happened there, guys. We were like waving from politics to me getting angry to me being slightly inspirational. I don't know. This podcast is going off the rails. I gotta end it here before I go crazy. But like, my point is just the world, Canada in general, we need to change something up. And I agree with a lot of things that people are saying in the general populace. Like, I think mental health should be more of a serious problem. Like, it should be taken seriously, is what I'm saying, compared to what it was in the past. Nut up or shut up. That's how I grew up. But at the same time, I think sometimes you do need to nut up or shut up. Sometimes you need to reach in and be strong, because that's how you get strong. If you're always relying on your therapist or you're always relying on other people for happiness, can't be happy yourself, that's what creates those weird narcissists that just want everything to be about them. They want all the laws to be about them. That's just what happens. They never self-soothed, I guess. I don't know. They need that affirmation so badly that they want to be in law. It's not going to help anybody. So I don't know. I'm rambling on now, guys, and I'm very sorry, but it's the state of the world is, it's pretty depressing some days, especially in Canada. It's scary. Like, nothing's affordable. Everybody's going mental and nobody wants to fix anything. They want the quick fix, but I'm serious. Every person, and this worked for me. Maybe it will work for you. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But when I was that severely depressed, you know what got me out of that depression at the time? Fucking working out. Doing shit. And I wasn't even working, like, I wasn't lifting weights and, being a gym bro. No, I just went for walks. I just got outside. I walked for a long time, but I did that every night. I walked every night. Felt great. Felt awesome. And I think that's what a lot of people need to do. Stop being sedentary. Just go do something. Go for a walk. Go walk your dog. Go walk your cat if you got one. I've seen people do that. It's a little weird, but teach your own. So, if you're feeling depressed, go work out, you girly man. Either way, sorry, I got a little bit passionate near the end there, but God, do I just want our government to change. I really we need a better trajectory. And again, I'm not saying that conservatives get in and it's just going to be like, snap a finger, everything's fixed. No, it's going to be a long road to recovery, but I don't think in the most serious way possible, I do not think that Justin Trudeau has Canadians' best interest at heart. And I will say this too. I really want somebody who's a supporter of him. So if you guys know somebody, leave it in the comments. Uh, I want them to come on here and talk to me about it. I would love to talk to somebody who's a hardcore liberal and thinks this guy's good and he's a good thing. I want to talk to them because I want to understand. I want to understand because I don't see anything good. Maybe I'm just blinded by my Western rage. Who knows? But I don't see anything good or redeemable. So either way, if you know somebody like that, obviously don't dox them, but tell them to get in touch with me. You can email the podcast on the YouTube channel. The email's on there for business inquiries. So, as always, thank you guys so much for listening. Links to all social media are in the description below. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.